Hi, you're watching Let's Get Really Real with Jascinth, commentary from a Christian practical perspective. So, the discussion today will be with regard to friendship. What is friendship? A lot of people think that friendship is, I would say, a one-way street, or friendship is any different than I suppose, any other relationship. And I've noticed, I have a lot of friends, and some are just associates, I guess you can designate them or separate them in that manner. They're associates, and then there are people who are actual friends. Some folks that I grew up with that I still am in touch with and still call, and we communicate, visit each other, things of that nature. And those are friends. So an associate would probably be someone who just pretty much knows about you, or maybe you're in the same group with them, or church fellowship with them, probably the same workplace or something. And those are probably just associates, because colleagues and associates, I suppose, would go in that category. Real friends, though, to me, are people who are unselfish, and I think that's a big word when it comes to friendship, because a lot of people do not see where they're being selfish in certain relationships, and that is where the breakdown comes. And so we have a lot of people who are thinking it should all be about them, or everything should be about them alone, and everyone should pretty much conform to them, and everyone should adjust their schedules and adjust their time and adjust their mental faculties or adjust their emotions to conform to them. And that's the problem with a lot of relationships. Friendships, let me not say relationship, because relationships tend to have a wider or a broader emphasis as far as I'm concerned. I think that when you say relationships, that's a multitude of things. You can have a relationship with your children, you can have a relationship with your spouse or significant other. You can have a relationship with a boss even, but friendship to me means more like a sisterly or brotherly type of situation, not necessarily biological, but a relationship that's very close. And these are friends who understand you, someone you can talk to when you're down, someone you can talk to and share your deepest secrets with. And I don't think they come the way they used to come years ago. You have friends, and you just pretty much keep each other's secret, and there's someone you can go to. And I believe a lot of things are tied into that, because if someone had someone they could go to at their lowest times, I believe a lot of that would cut out a lot of despair, just your feelings of despair and hopelessness and all of that, which sometimes tend to lead to even suicidal thoughts or the act of suicide. And I believe it's very important. And even with children, you look at the school situations today, the school systems where kids are killing themselves because someone may call them fat, or someone may call them skinny, or someone may call them whatever. To me, that would be alleviated if they had someone who was really an unselfish friend to talk to. And maybe, hopefully, the friend would be from probably a better situation, or be a stronger personality, because there's some people who just cannot cope with much. And so when you find the strong personalities that aren't trying to, dictate everything to people, or aren't trying to take over other people's personalities, they tend to be good friends. Strong personality types, the A types, where you will stick up for your friend no matter what. You don't condone them in wrong necessarily, but you will stick up for them. And in situations where you find like even the bullying in schools and all of that right now, you wouldn't have those situations, because if you had a friend that you could go to, that would be your friend to confide in and to tell them how you're feeling. Now kids are so solitudinal. It's almost like everybody's in this little cusp or this little balloon or bubble by themselves. And it's like, no one to talk to. And so they kill themselves, because they figure, well, there's nobody for me to talk to. And it's really a sad situation, because personally, some people have the personality where they can fill their time with stuff, or they can fill their time that would otherwise be lonely times with something to do. And then others, you find other people have to entertain them and keep them busy. And then you find the other types that are kind of like, they just get on the, on the extreme ends, where if somebody says something just negative to them, they're that fragile that they're going to go off the deep end. And for whatever reason, things I'm sure may have accumulated over the years, over time. Just sometimes kids just hear negatives all the time. Sometimes the home is filled with negative stuff. And so you find there's no safe haven, so to speak. The child may see school as a threatening place. Home is a threatening place. Everywhere they go is a threatening place. That child could not have any self-confidence, and that child could not be feeling safe at all, because there's nowhere that they consider safe. So you wonder then about some kids who run away from home, and then you wonder about other kids who may be suicidal or have attempted it or talk about it or even write about it. And a lot of times it's because they find no safe haven anywhere. They find nowhere. And again, this is just in regard to friendship, but a lot of things can tie into that, and a lot of things can cause people to say, there's no reason to live. And that's where people get to the extreme end of that. They say, well, why would I want to live? Especially if there's no hope, and hopelessness is usually what causes that sort of suicidal tendencies. But why would they see anything as hopeless if they thought, well, in 2 years I'll be here, or in 2 years I'll be there. I have someone I can talk to, people help them resolve things, and then they go along and just move forward, But a lot of people are lacking that, and so we find these really extreme behaviors because of that sometimes. But again, we're talking about friendship, and a lot of people really don't know what real friendship is, and it's very easy to say, well, you're my friend, and you have your social networks now where people are thinking, oh, everybody's my friend. I have 500 friends on Facebook, and well, that's not possible, first of all, because those aren't real friends. You may want to start saying they're associates or colleagues or whatever, or people that you talk to, really. But for the most part, friends to me takes a special, for that title to be considered true in my mind, friends have to be a special, unselfish person or persons who embellish your life, who add something to your life. And again, I want to say it's not about you necessarily, but again, there are some fragile people, and they need strong personality types around them to kick them butt sometimes and tell them to go on, move on. Life is not ending. It's probably peak time now for you to be doing something, get something done with your life. You can do it. You can do it. And that affirmation sort of encouragement, sometimes you need it. And all a group of 10 friends per se shouldn't all be passive people. They shouldn't all be people who have one narrow vision about any one thing. You need a variety of mentalities. You need a variety of even strengths and personalities. You need a variety of even educational levels and educational goals and achievement levels and all of that within your friend group, because again, some people, I wouldn't say us, because some people need that boost. Some of us can boost ourselves, but then other people need that extra boost from other things, whether you're doing recreational things together, but just that encouragement aspect where someone will say to you, you can do it, or I'm proud of you. When you've done that, someone could say, oh, I'm so proud of you. Thank God that in my family there are people who encourage. There are other people too who are negative, but for the most part, my folks are encouraging. And so that had given me a lot of leverage sometimes to go and do what I do, because a lot of times you just want to give up. There are situations where you just want to give up and say, forget this, in the middle of it. But other times someone may just come by and say, like my older sister, she's a very, very good encourager. She'll say, you can do it. And so far what you've done, I'm proud of you doing that, and that's really, really good thing. I think that's a God-blessed thing to have in your family. But anyway, you're watching Jascinth with Let's Get Really Real, commentary from a Christian, practical perspective. May God bless you.